There comes a point in your life when you have to make a decision. Are you going to settle for where you are, or are you going to reach for something greater? The truth is, most people never achieve their full potential, not because they aren't capable, but because they don't think high enough. If you want to change your life, if you want to break through barriers, if you want to go beyond what you thought was possible, you have to start by upgrading your thinking. Thinking higher is the key to unlocking a life of abundance, power, and purpose. Everything in your life right now is a direct reflection of your thoughts. The way you think determines what you do, what you attract, and what you become. If you think small, you create small opportunities. If you think big, you open doors to a life beyond your wildest dreams. Most people don't realize that their limitations aren't real. They exist only in their minds. They say, I can't do that. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the resources. But the truth is, the only thing standing between you and your next level is the way you think. History is filled with people who had no money, no connections, no advantages, yet they changed the world. Why? Because they refused to think small. They saw possibilities where others saw problems. They believed in themselves when no one else did. They understood that their thoughts had the power to shape their reality. The way you think affects how you see the world. If you believe you're capable, you'll find a way. If you believe you're stuck, you won't even try. Your mind is either your greatest asset or your biggest enemy. It will either lift you up or drag you down. And the crazy thing, you're the one in control. You get to decide whether your thoughts empower you or limit you. You get to choose whether you focus on possibility or impossibility. You get to shape your future by shaping your thinking. Most people live trapped in a cycle of doubt and negativity because they've trained their minds to expect failure. But the most successful people train their minds differently. They don't let fear drive their decisions. They don't dwell on what could go wrong. They focus on what could go right. They think like winners before they ever win. They visualize success before it even happens, and because they think bigger, they achieve bigger. This isn't magic. This is how the mind works. Whatever you consistently think about, you move toward. So if you keep thinking small, your life will stay small. But if you start thinking bigger, if you start believing that you are capable, that you are powerful, that you are meant for more, everything starts to change. Your actions shift, your energy shifts, your results shift. And before you know it, the life you once thought was impossible becomes your reality because you had the courage to think higher. Most people never reach their full potential, not because they aren't capable, but because they refuse to step beyond their comfort zone. They settle. They accept less than they deserve. They talk themselves out of opportunities before they even try. Not because they aren't good enough, not because they aren't talented enough, but because they're afraid. Afraid of failing. Afraid of looking foolish. Afraid of what other people might think. Fear is the invisible cage that traps people in mediocrity. It whispers, stay where it's safe. It convinces you that risk is dangerous and that comfort is security. But here's the truth. Comfort is the enemy of growth. The longer you stay comfortable, the more you shrink. The more you let fear dictate your choices, the smaller your life becomes. You were not born to play small. You were not created to sit on the sidelines while others take the risks, chase the dreams, and live the life you secretly desire. Deep down, you know there's more for you. You feel it. You see glimpses of what's possible, but then fear creeps in and tells you to wait. Wait for the perfect time. Wait until you're ready. Wait until you feel more confident. But waiting is just another word for wasting. You will never feel fully ready. You will never be completely fearless. The difference between those who succeed and those who stay stuck isn't talent. It's courage. Courage to take action even when they're scared. Courage to step forward even when they're uncertain. Courage to fail, learn, and rise again. Every successful person you admire had a moment where they had to decide, stay small or take the risk. And the ones who made it, they chose to push beyond fear. They chose to stop overthinking, stop waiting, and start moving. They felt the same doubts, the same fears, the same insecurities, but they didn't let them win. And because they stopped playing small, their entire world expanded. Opportunities appeared, doors opened, their confidence grew, and now they live the life most only dream about. The question is, will you do the same? Your life right now is a reflection of the standards you've been willing to accept. Not your potential, not your dreams, not what you wish would happen, but what you allow, what you tolerate, what you settle for. Because life doesn't give you what you want, it gives you what you demand. Look at any area where you're not satisfied. Your health, your relationships, your finances, your career. Somewhere along the line, you set a limit on what you believed was possible. You decided what was good enough. And that decision created your current reality. But here's the truth. If you want more, you have to expect more. You have to demand more from yourself before life will give you more in return, because your standards dictate your actions, and your actions shape your future. People who succeed don't just hope for better outcomes, they refuse to accept anything less. They don't tolerate excuses. They don't settle for mediocrity. They raise the bar and force themselves to meet it, because they know that when they elevate their standards, everything else follows. If you want to be in the best shape of your life, you can't just wish for it. You set a new standard. You commit to moving your body every day. You refuse to let laziness or distractions dictate your choices. If you want financial freedom, you don't just hope for it. You demand it from yourself. You stop wasting money on things that don't serve you. You learn, you grow, you take action. If you want better relationships, you don't settle for toxic, draining connections. You raise your standards for how people treat you. You walk away from anything that doesn't align with your vision. And as you elevate your standards, the world rises to meet you. The opportunities change. The people in your life change. Your entire reality shifts. Because the moment you decide that good enough is no longer good enough, the moment you refuse to accept anything less than excellence is the moment your life begins to transform. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. It can create your future or it can destroy it. It can push you toward greatness or it can chain you to mediocrity. And the difference between success and failure, control. Most people don't control their minds, they let their minds control them. They wake up and immediately start reacting to life. They let fear, doubt, and negativity take over before the day even begins. They focus on problems instead of solutions. They dwell on their past instead of their potential. They allow outside influences, news, social media, toxic people to dictate their emotions, their actions, and ultimately their results. But when you control your mind, everything changes. You decide what thoughts get your attention. You decide what beliefs you reinforce. You decide what kind of energy you bring into every single day. Because thoughts are not just harmless ideas, they are the blueprint for your reality. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, you'll act like you're not good enough. If you always focus on what's missing, you'll never see what's possible. But if you train your mind to focus on solutions, you'll find a way. If you train your mind to expect success, you'll take the kind of action that makes success inevitable. This isn't about false positivity. It's about rewiring your brain to work for you instead of against you. It's about refusing to be a prisoner to old habits, past failures, and limiting beliefs. Because every time you allow a negative thought to control you, you give away your power. But every time you take control, every time you redirect your focus, every time you refuse to let fear win, your mind gets stronger. And a strong mind creates a strong life. A mind that is disciplined, focused, and unstoppable will turn even the hardest situations into opportunities. It will push past obstacles. It will find ways to win when others quit. It will create a future that most people only dream about. Because when you master your mind, you master your life. The people around you are shaping your future. Every conversation, every opinion, every belief they hold is influencing you more than you realize. If you surround yourself with people who think small, you will think small. If you spend your time with doubters, you will start to doubt yourself. If you listen to those who complain, who make excuses, who settle for less, you will start doing the same. Because energy is contagious. Mindsets are contagious. And whether you know it or not, the people in your life are either pulling you up or dragging you down. You cannot expect to rise while staying connected to those who refuse to grow. You cannot expect to achieve greatness while surrounding yourself with people who settle for mediocrity. You have to be intentional about who you allow into your circle and who you allow to sell it. Find people who challenge you to think bigger. Find people who push you beyond your comfort zone. Find people who don't just talk about success, but actually live it. Because when you surround yourself with thinkers, visionaries, and action takers, something powerful happens. Your mindset shifts, your standards rise, your belief in what's possible expands, and suddenly what once seemed impossible becomes the new normal. You start thinking at a higher level, you start taking bolder action, you start stepping into the person you were meant to be, and that is how success happens. Not by chance, not by luck, but by putting yourself in an environment that forces you to level up. So take a look at your circle. Who do you spend the most time with? Are they lifting you or limiting you? Are they encouraging you or filling your mind with doubt? Are they showing you what's possible or convincing you to play small? Because if you want to change your life, the first step is to change who you listen to. Surround yourself with those who see possibilities. Surround yourself with those who challenge you to be better. Surround yourself with those who refuse to accept limits, and watch how fast your world transforms. Most people spend their lives focusing on problems. They see obstacles and stop. They face challenges and complain. They talk about what's wrong, why things aren't working, and why success seems impossible. But focusing on problems doesn't solve them. It only makes them bigger. It drains your energy. It fills your mind with doubt, and it keeps you stuck in the same cycle over and over again. Winners think differently. They don't dwell on what's wrong. They don't waste time blaming circumstances, other people, or bad luck. They ask one powerful question: what's the solution? Because every problem has one. Every setback is an opportunity. Every challenge is a test to see how badly you want it. The people who succeed in life aren't the ones who have no problems. They're the ones who train their minds to find answers. They focus on what can be done, not what can't. They take control instead of waiting for things to change. They turn obstacles into stepping stones, and because of that, they rise while others stay stuck. You have that same power. You can train yourself to see solutions instead of limits. You can rewire your mind to look for possibilities instead of excuses. It starts with a shift in focus. Instead of saying, I don't know how to do this, ask, how can I figure it out? Instead of saying, this is too hard, ask, what's one step I can take right now? Instead of saying, I've failed too many times, ask, what can I learn from this? The moment you shift from problem thinking to solution thinking, everything changes, your energy changes, your confidence grows. You stop waiting and start creating. And suddenly, the barriers that once seemed impossible become just another step on your journey. Because problems don't define you, your response to them does. And when you choose to think solutions, there is nothing that can stop you. Nothing changes until you take action. You can have the best ideas, the biggest dreams, the most detailed plans, but without action, none of it matters. Most people wait. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait until they feel ready. They wait for permission, for certainty, for the fear to disappear. And because they wait, nothing happens. They stay stuck in the same routines, the same struggles, the same level of life year after year. Because growth doesn't come from thinking about action. It comes from taking action. Not small, hesitant steps, not dipping your toe in the water, but bold, decisive, unstoppable action. Action that forces you out of your comfort zone. Action that makes people question if you're crazy. Action that stretches you, challenges you, and turns your goals into reality. Every major breakthrough in history happened because someone took bold action. They didn't wait for certainty. They didn't ask for approval. They saw what they wanted and they went after it with everything they had. And because of that, they created change. They changed their own lives. They changed the world. And you have that same power. You don't need more time. You don't need more information. You need to decide that today is the day you stop waiting and start moving. Start before you're ready. Move before you have all the answers. Because clarity comes from action, not thought. Confidence is built through movement, not hesitation. And results come from doing, not wishing. You might fail. You might make mistakes. You might have moments where you question yourself. But every time you take bold action, you learn, you grow, you get stronger. And before you know it, you're no longer waiting for a breakthrough because you become the breakthrough. So stop overthinking, stop hesitating, stop letting fear decide your future. Take the risk, make the move, go all in, because big action leads to big results, and your next level is waiting for you to go get it. Your mind is a powerful filter. What you focus on, you will find. Most people walk through life blind to the opportunities around them. They see obstacles, they see limitations, they see why things won't work instead of how they could. Not because opportunities don't exist, but because they aren't trained to see them. Your mind is wired to confirm what you already believe. If you believe success is rare, you'll only notice struggle. If you believe doors are closed to you, you won't even bother knocking. If you believe life is against you, you'll miss every sign pointing you forward. But when you shift your mindset, everything changes. When you train yourself to see possibility, you start noticing things others overlook. You see solutions where others see dead ends. You see ideas where others see problems. You see potential in places most people ignore because opportunity is everywhere. It's in conversations. It's in failures. It's in every challenge disguised as a lesson. It's in the risks that scare you, the ideas that excite you, the small decisions that lead to massive change. But you have to look for it. You have to be open to it. You have to train yourself to ask, where is the opportunity in this? Instead of saying, this isn't fair, ask, how can I grow from this? Instead of saying, I don't know what to do, ask, what options haven't I explored? Instead of saying, I have no resources, ask, how can I be resourceful? The moment you make this shift, your world expands. You stop waiting for luck and start creating it. You stop feeling stuck and start seeing pathways forward. You realize that life isn't about what happens to you, it's about how you respond. Because the truth is, successful people aren't luckier than you, they just see what most people don't. They recognize possibilities where others see nothing. They take action when others hesitate. They turn setbacks into stepping stones, and because of that, they create lives that most only dream about. You can do the same. You just have to open your eyes. The moment you stop growing is the moment you start dying. Life is not meant to be lived on repeat. You are not here to stay the same, to think the same, to act the same year after year. You are here to evolve, to learn, to expand. But most people stop growing the moment life gets comfortable. They reach a certain level and decide it's enough. They stop reading, they stop learning new skills, they stop challenging themselves. And without realizing it, they start shrinking. Because growth is not automatic. It doesn't just happen because time passes. It happens because you choose it. It happens because you make the decision to push yourself, to stretch beyond what you know, to become more than you were yesterday. Every skill you develop opens new doors. Every book you read gives you an edge. Every challenge you embrace makes you stronger. And every time you invest in yourself, you increase your value to the world. Your potential is unlimited if you keep reaching for it. You don't need to have all the answers today. You just need to commit to learning, growing, and improving every single day. Because the best never stop. The most successful people in the world don't settle once they've made it. They keep studying, they keep refining their skills, they stay curious, open, hungry for more, and that's why they continue to rise while others plateau. So ask yourself, what are you doing today to grow? What are you learning? What are you practicing? What are you doing to make sure your future self is stronger, wiser, and more capable than you are today? Because if you aren't growing, you're falling behind. The world is evolving, opportunities are changing, and the only way to stay ahead is to stay committed to your own growth. It doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter where you're starting from. All that matters is that you make the decision to never stop improving, never stop learning, never stop becoming more. Because the person you are today is just the beginning. The best version of you is still waiting to be discovered. People don't follow words, they follow examples. They watch what you do, not what you say. They pay attention to how you live, how you think, how you handle challenges. And whether you realize it or not, you are influencing those around you every single day. The question is, what kind of example are you setting? Are you showing people what's possible? Are you inspiring them to aim higher, to think bigger, to become more? Or are you just blending in, doing what everyone else does, settling for less than you're capable of? If you want to lead, if you want to make an impact, if you want to leave a legacy, you have to be the example. You have to elevate your own thinking before you can elevate anyone else's. You have to demand more from yourself before you can expect more from others. You have to be willing to do the hard work, to make the tough decisions, to live in a way that forces people to raise their own standards. Because leadership isn't about a title. It's about who you are when no one is watching. It's about how you show up, how you push through, how you turn your struggles into strength. It's about setting the bar so high that others have no choice but to rise to it. Most people wait for someone else to go first. They wait for permission. They wait for proof that success is possible. But the world doesn't need more followers. It needs more leaders. More people willing to step up. More people willing to think differently, act boldly, and refuse to accept average. And that starts with you. It starts with how you carry yourself. It starts with how you speak, how you work, how you commit to becoming the best version of yourself. Because when you raise your standards, others will follow. When you push past your fears, others will find their own courage. When you refuse to settle, you give others permission to do the same. So don't just tell people what's possible, show them. Live in a way that makes them believe in something greater. Be the example, because at the end of the day, your life is your message. The way you think, the way you act, the way you show up every single day, it all matters. You have the power to inspire, to lead, to lift others just by the way you live. So choose to be the example. Choose to think bigger, to push harder, to rise higher, not just for yourself, but for everyone watching you, your family, your friends, your community, the next generation. Be the proof that greatness is possible. Be the reason someone else believes in themselves, because when you become the example, you don't just change your own life, you change the world around you.